Hello and welcome back to the Airtime Rush YouTube channel, where today we're carrying on with our Planet Coaster 2 series, Adventure Isles. Now this is episode 5. In the past 4 episodes we've built the entrance area, we've built this Viking area, and now we are building a China area. Now, there isn't actually any Chinese theme or anything in the game, so all this that we're doing is going to be handmade, using the items that we've got in the game to create this area. So the first ride I'm going in with is a massive B&M hypercoaster. My inspiration for this is Portaventura, the China area where they've got Shambhala, Dragon Khan. It's going to be very similar to that. So even though this ride, the layout is totally unique, it's not copying Shambhala at all. It's my own layout. I kind of wanted it to fit in this terrain area here. Just at the back of the park, because it's quite a hilly map that I picked, so I wanted to be able to use as much of the space as I can. So the only way I could do this was by actually having this coaster go up into these hills, and it also makes the ride a lot more unique as well. I do like my terrain roller coasters like Nemesis and stuff like that, so I just thought a hyper like that would be fantastic. You can also see there's no supports. I'm going to be putting custom supports in this as well. Make it completely custom and realistic, just like B&M Hypers are. So it'll have a mid-course brake run. At the end, there'll be a little brake run before you actually hit the actual brakes as well. And then just going back to the actual area. So I was going to copy and have like a Dragon Cards type ride. But I'm actually going to have a B&M invert to complement this ride. So in the next episode, we will be building that B&M invert, which will go just in this area here at the bottom of the screen. So this is going to be a blue coaster. It's going to be like a dragon theme roller coaster, a blue dragon, and then we're going to have the red dragon, which is going to be the invert. As well as that, we've got, I think I'm going to do 3 flat rides. I want to do the magic carpet ride. I'm going to put an indoor dodgems, and I'm going to put a Huss top spinning as well. And also a family dragon coaster, only a little one, a bit like Octonauts roller coaster, Alton Towers, something nice and small for the kids. So there's going to be plenty in this area. It's quite a big area. You got these 2 main roller coasters, 3 flat rides, 2 of them are family friendly, 1 of them is a thriller one, and then a nice kiddie ride. So I think it's a perfect area really. So when the adults want to go on the big rides, you've got plenty to keep the rest of the family entertained, which is just what I wanted really. The actual area, it's going to be nice and clean. It's not going to be cluttered. You look back at the Viking area in the other episodes, there's a lot going on in them. There's lots of wooden buildings, stuff around, lots of fencing. This is going to be very open. Lots of planting and stuff like that. Like the trees that are cut really nice, like the box trees, there's going to be plenty of them around. A nice little, literally just like Portaventura, a nice little entrance area, like the Great Wall kind of thing going across, a bridge, and then lots of different Chinesey buildings, which I'm a bit nervous about building, but from what I've done so far, I'm actually really happy with how they look. Considering we haven't got that theme in the actual game, I think I've done a really good job. I'm really happy with it. It's very, I've kept it really neat, this area. It's very symmetrical, so lots of like the paths are nice and square. It's not all, I don't know, like in the Viking area, it's all very crowded. I think this one flows a lot better. It's a lot more open, a lot brighter, and that's just what I wanted. So I'm really happy with how this area looked. Going to the coaster now. It took me a while to get this ending right. I went back and forth trying to get it to connect, because I wanted it to have a nice little, I like the roller coasters that hit the brakes and you've got a few little more bunny hills and stuff like that before you hit the final brakes. But in the end, I don't think I keep any of this. I just have it turning around straight into the brake run, which makes it a lot easier really. It's actually a pretty long ride as it is. See, I am trying to put double down in, and I don't know, it just looks a bit stupid. That's why I didn't go with it. It just looks a bit too long and a bit too pointless. Like, you wouldn't see this on many other roller coasters. The thing with hypercoasters, it's all about the height, it's all about the first drop, and it's all about the flow to air time. So you don't really see parts like this. Like I said, the only parts like this you see is the little bunny hills at the end of the ride. So I ended up just deleting all this and just having it go hit the mid-course there, and then you drop down into a little overbank and then into the actual main break room right there. But this whole area looks totally different when I've actually done it, and I'm quite a fan of the doing your own supports. Like in Planet Coaster 1, I never did any of that, but obviously in the last area we did the dive coaster, which was all custom supported, and also the RMC that we did, the actual lift hill of that, it was a custom lift hill. I did some like a metal arch, which I really liked. Hope you guys like that as well. So yeah, I've done quite a lot of custom supporting. So this is going to be a bit different because it's a lot bigger. B&Ms are very. I know I've already done a B&M with the dive coaster, but the hypercoaster supports, the very modern looking, very elegant looking. You don't like on the lift hill. I think it's what roller coaster, Fury 325, I think it's called, and the structure on that, like the actual supports, looks absolutely incredible. It's like, again, it's like a big arch. There's not a lot supporting it, and you just look at it and you're like, how does this ride support itself? How does that even work? I looked at a few different roller coasters, hypercoasters, just to get an idea of the supports. And the main one I looked at was Shambhala, because that's kind of the look I'm going for. So that's why I kind of went with that. So yeah, you got a few main really big bulky supports on the lift hill, and then any really forceful turnaround sections you'll have quite a lot, because obviously there'll be a lot of G-force into them corners. So you'll see like 4 or 5 small columns with supports coming off. So yeah, like this corner here that I'm working on here when I'm smoothing, that will have quite a lot of supports because it'll be quite a powerful turnaround there. The airtime hills will have a few. I think I put a few in, probably about 3. I think you need 1 in the middle and 2 by the sides. But the main thing with this now is just getting it smooth. This is more or less the layout. I do think I go back and change just a little bit, just in the middle part of it, but all this section here, this out and back section on the hillside, that all stays. But yeah, you can see I'm testing it. Again, this is all sped up, so yeah, it's not actually this fast. That'd be more like a launch coaster, but I love the first drop on hypercoasters. To be fair, I think I've only done 2 B&M hypers. I've done Mako at SeaWorld, and I've done Shambhala at PortAventura. I really like them. I know a lot of people think they're a bit boring, but especially Shambhala. I was a bit disappointed with Mako, but Shambhala, I absolutely love that first drop. It's fantastic, and then that first airtime hill, and then you do that weird turnaround section, and then you come into a little pop of airtime that really gets you out your seat, and then back into another floaty airtime moment. I think they're my favourite airtime moments, the floaty. I just really like them, and that's why I wanted this to be packed full of airtime, really fun, and I just want it to sit perfectly behind this land like it does. So I'm really happy with the layout and how it looks, especially when I get all the supports in, which you'll see in this video. It looks fantastic. So yeah, in this video we're going to concentrate on this ride, and just the area around it, so the station area, the train station, and maybe one of the flat rides. And then in the next episode we'll be building the invert with probably the dodgems, the top spin, a restaurant, and the little junior dragon roller coaster. And then the final episode of this area, it will just be basically a tour around it, finishing off any bits, going on the rides. That'd be a bit of a shorter episode. So yeah, I want to try and get 3 episodes out of this area. This being the first, second being the invert, and then the third just being a little tour and stuff like that. And then after this episode, I'll try and get that out as soon as possible, the next one, and then the third one as well. And then we'll be moving on to our next area, which is going to be next to this, and it's going to be a Greek area, which, again, we've got that theme in, with the theming pack. So that should be really easy to do and really fun as well. The rides that I'm planning on doing in there is the Intamin multi-dimension coaster. It's going to be like a family one. I'm thinking of doing the B&M surf coaster. So I think that'll look really cool, bit different. I might do quite a unique layout on that. I want a dark ride, which would just be like a haunted house kind of thing, but obviously themed to like maybe Medusa or something like that. And then a few flat rides, and then that'll be the area. But again, that'll be very heavily themed. Lots of different layers, lots of different buildings. Again, it'll be a little bit like the Viking. There'll be lots going on in that one. whereas this China area is a lot more open, flowy, nice, and landscaped. I would say more than themed. It's more landscaped, and I didn't do that just because we don't have the theming pack in this game. I did it because that is what China is like. I've never been personally, but what I've done quite a lot of research. Obviously, I've done a lot for this video of like getting ideas of the sort of buildings that I'd need to put in and stuff like that. And yeah, I've looked, and it looks an amazing place. I'd love to go one day. Obviously, they got a Disney over there. I'd love to go and check out Disney over there and their culture and everything like that. So yeah, but this whole area, I'm happy with. So I record the actual episode, me building it all, and I come and do this voiceover. So I know what it looks like now. This isn't live, so I'm really happy with how it looks because obviously I know what it looks like because I've finished all this area nearly anyway. At the time of recording, I've still got the top spin to put in, and then just a bit more extra work around the area. But it's nearly complete now. And I love it. I think it's fantastic. It's probably my favourite area. Like I think the Viking area I do like. Again, I think it's just a bit too busy, but I think it works. But I just love how this is just so relaxed, so landscaped. It's really nice, and especially being at the back of the park with that lake as well here on the left hand side, it just looks absolutely perfect. Having another test run now just to see how it flows, see how the ride goes. Again, I love that first drop, fantastic. Nice bit of airtime there, outward bank, and then you do the turnaround section. I think I put a small little trim brake on that bit. And I do change that bit what's just been, so there is a little bit that I do change, and all this bit doesn't stay as well. So yeah, again with building rides, there's a lot of trial and error. You do need to build it, delete it. You can see there I weren't happy with it, so straight away came back into the editor, deleted all that end bit. Wasn't a fan of that. Again, I don't know why it took me so long just to realise I needed a brake run, a little drop, and then just back into the brake run. It would have just been fine. But for some reason I don't know, I messed around for ages trying to. I don't know what I was trying to do. I just think I wanted it to be longer, but I don't know why, because the actual layout is perfect, the rest of it. Yeah, I don't really know what my thinking was here. Again, like I said, it's trial and error, isn't it? So I do go, I think, is it here? Do I go? Yes, so this bit here, I turn and make it go back a little bit, doing a few more bunny hops and stuff like that. So that's where, instead of that ending, I kind of get the little airtime hills from this bit here. And when I've got all this supported as well, it looks really cool with the lift hill interaction as well. But yeah, this works out a lot better than what I was trying to do on that back bit. Because obviously I need to put in the maintenance shed as well. I need to think of the station building, the transfer track, the queue. So I need to make sure I've got enough room for all that to go in. So having a big long end bit here, it just didn't work. So that's why I'm happy with this. This literally is what I've ended up with. Literally turn around into the brake run. Perfect. That's all you need. I don't know why it took me so long to do that, but yeah, I'm finally happy at this point that I've got the layout that I wanted. It's quite hard to line up the brake run and your final bit, because you want to hit that brake run nice and smoothly. You don't want to jank into it. It needs to be a nice smooth transition into it, because obviously the brake runs are nice and straight. You can get somewhat a bit of an angle, like a slope downwards, so you can hit it into the slope. But yeah, you just want a nice gentle turn. So it does take me a while just to line it up. You want a nice little run off into the brake run. But yeah, this is more or less the final. This is the final look of the actual ride. I think I stick with this now. This is more or less it. I think I changed that little bit there. That was a bit janky. I think I put another little airtime hill there instead. And again, it's just a bit more smoothing out. But yeah, perfect. Little turnaround into the brake. Perfect. But an area that I'm working on at the moment, whilst I'm doing the voiceover of this, in this China area, I wanted to do a big restaurant. So I wanted a nice sit-down restaurant. And I was thinking, how can I do it really, really good? So I've actually decided to do it as like a buffet. So I've used a lot of pieces, and I've made like a big open buffet. So basically, the idea is the guests would go and pay for the plate and the cup at the stand, which is not just in the game. It would just be a normal like food stand or food stall, and then they'll get the plate and then they'll go to the buffet and help themselves and sit down. Obviously, they won't do that, but that's kind of the look that I've gone for. So I've got this big, nice Chinese style building. Lots of tables in there. You got this buffet section where you go and help yourself. I'm going to make some little soda dispensers where you can get your drink as well. Just like the little fountains that you get in the all-you-can-eat, where you just put your cup under and it like puts in the soda and the syrup. It's basically one of them. I saw someone on a group that I'm in build one of these, so when I'm building that, I'm recording that, I'll shout out whoever it is. I can't remember his name, but yeah, he's the one that I've got the idea of. I'm not gonna download it off the workshop and copy and paste it. I want to try and build it myself, but I got the idea off him. So big shout out to him, and I'll shout out his name as I'm building that. But yeah, this restaurant that I'm building at the moment, I'm really happy with. So in each area, I want at least one big restaurant where you can sit inside, and then after that, it'll just be like stalls and stuff like that where you just get a quick snack, hot dog, quick burger on the go if you don't want to sit down. I like the option of being able to sit down in a restaurant if I really want to when I'm on park at different theme parks. I like to have the options. Some days I'm so busy like trying to get on all the rides that I might just want a quick lunch. Where I'll just grab a burger, like I just said. Or there's some days where it might be raining, you just want to kind of waste an hour, chilling, getting your legs back, because especially Alton Towers, your legs start to hurt after a while, so it's nice to have a little sit down, especially at the roller coaster restaurant. It's nice to do that. So that's my idea with each land: have a sit down restaurant, and then lots of different quick food stalls and stuff like that. And then obviously your toilets and stuff like that. There will be toilets in each of the restaurants as well. Just I don't like the idea of having to leave a restaurant for a toilet which is outside. I can't remember where. I think it was Disney. I think it was Casey's Corner, is it called? And we were eating a nice meal in there, and I need the toilet. I'm like, oh yeah, it's over near the castle. So I had to go out of the building to go to the toilet. I just don't like that. So yeah, I'm having all my toilets in a restaurant, like in the actual main restaurant. But here on the screen now, guys, you can see this is more or less the final look at it now. Really happy with how it looks. Again, I think a bit more smoothing in places, but yeah, that's the bit I put in there instead of I had like a bit of a downward area, like a triple down, but it was just too fast. So I needed to kind of change that. So that's why I did change that. But yeah, really happy with that. It's all about just tidying up now. There's a few bits that I just needed to put back, a bit of land, and then it's doing what I normally like doing, putting out my columns, seeing which is the biggest one, which I found there. Obviously, the lift hill's going to have the bulkier ones, just like when we did the dive coaster. It's kind of a given that the lift hill needs the bigger supports. So yeah, just started with the custom supporting now. I love this tool where you can just keep moving it down like that. The only annoying thing is when you get a little gap, because I'm too eager with it. So I have to go back and kind of fill the gap in with another piece. But once you get the main bit in, I can then move it around like this. Obviously put it at a bit of an angle, like B&Ms are. That's how they have them. They have nice angled ones. And then I could just copy and paste that over to the other side. It's basically like a big A-frame. That's how the supports look. I really like the supports on B&Ms, but then again, I like how different they can be on other roller coasters like Mack. Yeah, the supports on Mack are incredible. I think I said it in another video, but Hyperia's support structure is just fantastic. So different to B&M. B&M are just very simple, very elegant. Really, they do the job, but then you got the Mack ones which think outside the box, and like one support can hold like 3 bits of track. It's incredible how they do it. Like the actual design that goes into that. Like how do they even design that? I find it fantastic. The only bit with some custom supporting that I'm not very good at is the part where the support attaches to the track. Normally you'll have like a bit of a base plate with the bolts that attach to it. But again, I don't actually know what to use with that. I don't know if they're actually in the game, Every time I've tried to use bits like that, it just doesn't look right. I don't know. And then obviously I don't know what they're called. I think they're called flanges. It's like the little round discs that would connect the other parts. So basically, one big column like that would ship in 2 or 3 parts, and then the columns will get bolted together by these through the flanges, basically to connect the whole post and make it one big one. So you can get them in the game, but I don't know. I think I'm just lazy. I just can't be bothered putting them in at each individual bit. I might go back and do that. But I think it looks fine without them. Obviously, footers, I definitely need the footers in. That just finishes it off. But yeah, I'm really getting into custom supporting. I've never touched it in Planet Coaster 1. I just didn't see the point. But if you see the difference between these 3 columns that I put in and the ones that the game automatically generates, it's day and night, honestly. They're so thin. The ones, like the in-game ones, are so thin. It just looks ridiculous. And then obviously, if you build a small piece of the track, each piece you do gets its own support. So you could have like hundreds of supports on that lift hill, and it will just look stupid. Where in reality, B&M only has 3 or 4 big support structures like that. That's all it needs. So yeah, I'm definitely getting into it. I think I struggled with this bit. This is why I put a vertical one in, because of the pieces of track that go under it. Every time I tried to put one of the diagonal supports in, it would get in the way of the track. So, but once I've actually built the pieces, I can just copy and paste them over. Like you can see here, I've got this one, just kind of copy and pasting it over to the areas that I need. That big airtime hill, I think I put some bigger supports on that one. I'm not too sure. But yeah, it's basically seeing where the most stress would be on the track. That's where you'll need a support mainly, and obviously look at like where. I don't know. It's just I just kind of just go with the flow. I'm probably got it all wrong. Like there might be people out there who actually design roller coasters for a job, and you might say, "Oh, that would never work." But again, it looks good. That's all that matters. I'm trying to be realistic, but I'm not trying to be perfect. So I'm personally happy with how this is looking. And when it's all done, it looks fantastic. Again, the footers definitely make it. I tried putting a piece in there, but I think it'd be a bit too much of a head chopper, so I tried to move it. Is that still? I was going to say that still looks a bit dodgy, but yeah, you can see there. I just turned it around. Again, it's just all about playing and just seeing what looks right. And then, like I said, this turnaround section up here, this will need quite a few supports just to support, because it'd be quite a forceful turnaround, but also be quite slow, so it'll definitely feel the weight turning around. That luckily it's low to the ground though, so the supports aren't too long. Otherwise, I think it'll look a bit stupid with these massive supports in. But yeah, I just kind of just go here and there, everywhere. There's no real direction that I'm going with it. I just kind of go, oh, okay, I'll go over here with it now. Okay, done with that. We'll go over here now. Again, I said it in other videos. I don't like staying in one place. I like doing different things. So, I might not even finish all these supports now. I might go off and start something else. I feel like as long as I've got the main part of something done, I'm happy to leave it and go and start something else and then come back to it. That's just how I work, and it works for me. I like it. But you can already see how good this is looking now. This ride, it looks fantastic, especially on the backdrop. And then you're going to have this big invert as well. The invert, I was going to do custom supporting. Well, I have, but I've downloaded someone's B&M support pack off the workshop. Again, I'll shout them out when I'm doing that. But I just found it easier, because B&M invert supports are a lot different. I don't know, I just couldn't be bothered to do them individually, so I basically used someone else's, copy and paste them around the ride. So I'm still custom supporting, but someone else has built the custom support, which is fine. It just helps me out. It just means I can put a bit more effort into other bits. But now we are building the station building for the B&M Hyper. Now again, trying to find pieces is really hard, because we don't have a scenery pack to fit this. So I'm just trying to go with, I had pictures on my phone of Chinese buildings, and I also had pictures of Shambhala Station, which this is kind of going off, so there's going to be a bit of a cattle pen queue line in this bit here, and then you'll go down some steps, and then there's a bit more undercover in front of this building here as well. So there's plenty of queuing. Again, I'm not a fan of cattle pen queue lines, but they work, you know, they work, they do work well. Yeah, it's not nice to be stuck in them for too long, but they just mean they're saving space. They look a lot tidier than like big open queues. That's why I kind of made it so you got a cattle pen up there, and then you come down some steps into another small cattle pen. So it does break it up a little bit. It's not just one massive cattle pen. But yeah, I just think cattle pen kind of, especially this China area, I think it suits it really well. Because like I said, it's very elegant, it's very symmetrical, and so are cattle pen queue lines. So yeah, that's kind of the thought behind that. But again, I'm just kind of placing random things and just seeing if it works. It's all trial and error. If I don't like it, I'll just delete it. But again, I'm really happy. You can kind of already get the shape that I'm going for, and I've just had to play around with these columns that I built. And now that I've got them in, I can copy and paste them over as well, which is one of the main thing. But it's all about trying to get the main building in, trying to see how high it's going to be as well, so testing the height. And then obviously to the right there, that's going to be the maintenance shed, which I'm just starting on now, which doesn't really need to be themed that well because it's not really in the eyesight of the customers, the guests. Yes, you'll see it on the ride when you're coming up into that little brake run. So it does need to be themed a little bit, but it doesn't have to be like real themed like the rest of the station. Like especially this queue line area is going to be really nicely themed. Like to be fair, you could even get away with having a nice roof on this part here, and then on the actual maintenance shed, I could probably just put a flat roof, like you know, like a metal flat roof on it. Again, yeah, you might see it on the end, but you're going to see things anyway on the ride. You can't hide everything from the guests. Like, at the end of the day, you're going to see the transfer track. You can't really hide that. You're going to see the maintenance area. You can't really hide that. Yeah, you can theme it up, and I do, to a degree, theme it up. But again, like the roof and stuff like that in real life, why put money into theming something that isn't really that important? You know what I mean? So that's kind of my thought process. Yeah, I'm going to theme it a little bit, but it's not going to be as well themed as this. And it works. It does work. For the split second you're on the ride and you can see it, is anyone going to say anything? Is anyone going to think anything? No, you're not. You just enjoyed the ride. Your adrenaline's pumping. The last thing you're going to do is go, oh, look at that roof there. You're just not going to do it, are you? And like I said, you can't hide everything. Skip forward a little bit there. I'll just put the pathways in. Again, I don't really like recording me putting the pathways in. It takes me a long time to do it. I like taking my time with my pathways and making sure I've got it right. But this roof that I'm putting in is perfect for this area. Like, look at that. I couldn't have picked like a better roof. It's like golden, which a lot of pictures that I've seen, the Chinese buildings, they've got lots of golden roofs like this. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I got really lucky with this. I think it's actually from the Greek. I think it's the Greek pack. I think it might be. Again, when it comes to the Greek pack, I could just recolor it because I probably wouldn't even have it that colour for Greek anyway. Greek is very white and stuff like that. So again, I could have a play around just to make sure it doesn't clash too much. But it fits perfectly with this theme that I'm going for, so I was really, really happy with that. Again, when it's all complete and everything, it looks really good. Like, it's hard to explain, but on Chinese buildings, they have a lot of, like, flicks off, like, at the bottom of the roof. It'll have, like, a little flick up. So what I've done with that is I put the trim in, but I put, like, a different slopiness. I can't really explain it. You'll see it soon. I do go around and do that. But it's just about finishing off theming up this side of the building. But I love the colours I used. That red marble effect. And then the blue brick above it. And then that golden roof. It honestly looks so good. I couldn't have pictured it being any better, to be fair. Like, before doing this area, I was really nervous, thinking, like, how's it going to look? I was a bit optimistic about it. And I was going to leave this area to last. But it was in the way because obviously this I wanted it to go here, and we just did the Viking area. I knew this area was going to come up next. To be fair, I was going to do the western area, so like the American western area here, but it wasn't big enough, I don't think, to do like the western area. So I just thought, you know what, that would fit the China area perfectly, because it's more of like a not a semicircle, it's like a crescent moon. It kind of goes around this area. But you can see I'm putting a lot of path work in. Again, I don't like filming a lot of this, but I just thought this is pretty simple, so I thought I'll show you this. But you can see there it's quite square. That's kind of what I want with this area. Lots of square path. And then up near the invert is going to be a different layer, so there'll be some steps going up to like a different platform. The land towards the back is going to be a bit higher, which again, a bit of research that I did show that a lot of I don't know if it's like Chinese cities or stuff like that, but they do have lots of different layers with steps and stuff like that. It's quite hard to explain, but yeah, I've done a lot of research, and that's kind of what I've gone for. That's kind of the theme and the thing I've gone for with the pathing, so it works. Again, I think I'll go back and actually paint all these paths, because I think that's the Viking path. In each area, I want the pathing to be unique to that area, so I do go back and I just try a different pathing. There was a red one. I was going to do like a red one, like a bright red, but it's just a bit too red. It didn't look very realistic. But here I'm just putting the door on the maintenance building. That'll be like a little slide up door that will allow the train to go in. Again, I still need to put the transfer track and everything, all the mechanism and stuff into that area, just to finish that off. And now I'm just finishing off little bits around the area. So we've got these this sort of slant up to the station where you've got the queue line and you've got the exit path as well. I wanted to theme this up. I didn't want it to just be a bare path with like some wooden supports. I wanted it to be like a proper, nice, grand walkway. So that's why I put these posts in. I'm putting like a topper fence in, you can see here. And again, the resizing is fantastic in this game. I can just resize it down to size, recolor it red, and then just move it into position like that. Then I had this problem where I've got this gap between the two, so I ended up putting some sort of like a flat piece just to make it look like one, to separate it. I think I'll do that in a minute. You'll see in a minute. But these posts that I'm using here, these really small ones, that is the same as the big red ones. Again, I just rescaled them. They're perfect for this China area. I use them all over the place, different colours. Yeah, so here you can see I was going to just put some wooden planks in, but I think I used like a wooden sign in the end because it fit perfectly over the gap. This one here, yeah, so I recolored that, put that into place, copied that all the way up. It just made a nice little finish. And when you're queuing, you can even sit on it as well. I think more queues need little seats. Do you know, like just on the side of the actual queue, just like this. I can't remember what ride it was. I think it was Rise of the Resistance at Disney World. They've got, when you get into the inside bit, there's lots of like seating areas and stuff like that, which is fantastic. Yeah, I get why a lot of places don't do it, because it stops people from moving when the queue moves, and you might get a bit of a delay in the ride. Like if I see a gap in a queue line, I'm like, come on, move! Like why are you not moving? Even though we're all going to get on the ride eventually, I don't know, it just annoys me a little bit. But yeah, here we're just putting some finishing bits in. I'm going to put like some sort of like wall around this area. You can see here I'm putting some bits in. I don't think I'll go with this in the end. I actually find a nice little brick wall like this one. Just to break the area up, because I was using too much of like the normal plaster wall or marble wall, whatever it was that I was using. So I thought I'll go in with this. It breaks up a lot, and it looks really nice. It looks like a kind of wall that they'll use in China. Again, looking at pictures of Portaventura, they do have lots of like walls like this as well in the area, and I think it works really well. I still need to do the entrance arch for this ride, as well as name it. I think I did come up with a name. I can't remember what it was, so I don't need a name for this. I don't need a name for any of the roller coasters. I need a name for the top spin, the magic carpet, and the bumper cars. So if you can come up with some like Chinese names for them, that'd be brilliant. Let me know down below. Thank you all for the comments in the other videos as well for suggestions for names. I just thought with these two, I kind of had it in my brain what I was going to call, and they're basically named after some Chinese dragons. So you got a blue one and a red one. So that's kind of what I went for. So I don't need any names for them. Again, foliage is fantastic in this game. There's lots of options, and I love how you can scale it as well. It does make it so much easier. So flat ride, we're going in with the magic carpet here. I've seen a lot of people use this magic carpet in the Greek areas that they've been building, so I didn't really want to use it in my Greek area. So instead, I put it here. I think it works really well when I've finished it all. I don't actually think I've recorded me actually doing this flat ride. I just kind of put it in place and I kind of did it off screen. There's not much to it really. I just put a little bit of theming around the actual ride itself. Instead of theming the actual ride, I'll just do it around the outside. It's just putting rocks around just so, because obviously I wanted it a little bit higher than the ground level. So put a few little rocks in and stuff. I like the queue line. It's not a caterpillar in this one. It won't be as popular as the roller coasters. So it's going to be a nice little garden area in the queue line. A bit like the RMC we did. That's not got a caterpillar queue line, only because I have the space really. If I got the space, I'll try and avoid caterpillar queue lines. But yeah. Oh, I do actually do a bit of theming. So yeah, I'm just changing the colours because obviously I love that there's different patterns you can use as well. So I just gone for plain, different colours. Again, I've gone for them Chinese colours. The red and black, they're very traditional Chinese colours. But yeah, that's all I seem to do on that. And then it's over to the maintenance area of the B&M. So putting the staff path in underneath the transfer track, just so basically the staff can get in and out with any sort of like telehandler vehicles or anything like that they need, if they need to lift anything off the track. And I need to put some like more detail in there, like ladders and stuff like that, and some doors and stuff. But I'm just fencing this area off, just so that's all away from the public. Again, doesn't have to be anything special because the public aren't going to see it apart from on the ride towards the end. But again, you're not going to be looking down at this area. But every theme park, like every single roller coaster, has a maintenance area. They need maintenance throughout the winter. So yeah, this is a must. But we're coming towards the end of the video now, guys. There's going to be a POV of the ride we just built, the big B&M Hyper. This is an overview of the look of the actual area. That's the flat ride we put in. And then we've got a big space behind it where the B&M is going to be. So I'm going to leave you all with the POV. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next Planet Coaster video. Bye!